I should never have stayed after dark. The ruins of Ellis Island Hospital were never meant to be walked alone at night. But I came with my grandmother's name and her dying words pressed against my heart. The sick never left. I told myself I was chasing history. I told myself I was brave. Now I know I was neither. The last ferry pulled away with a hollow groan, leaving the harbor still. I stood on cracked stone, flashlight in hand, notebook tucked under my arm. The air tasted metallic, bitter, like the tang of rust. It clung to my tongue and throat until every swallow felt poisoned. "Shouldn't be here after hours," a voice muttered. I jumped. A man leaned against the gate, a night watchman, uniform worn, cap tilted low. He eyed my notebook. "History buff. My grandmother was detained here. Scarlet fever," I said. His face tightened. "Plenty never made it out." Before I could reply, he turned. His flashlight bobbed once down the corridor, then the beam winked out. "Wait," I called. But he was gone. I stepped inside. The corridor swallowed me in damp silence. Tiles cracked beneath my boots, paint peeled in curling strips. Rust streaked the walls. My light swung across doors half off their hinges. Every echo of my steps doubled back at me, a half-second late, as if another set followed. I wrote in my notebook, words shaking, tiles, rust, echoes, proof that I was still real. My light caught scraps on the floor, patient tags, dozens, curled in yellow, strings brittle, numbers blurred. I bent to touch one. Static prickled my skin. A whisper brushed my ear, breath without words. I spun, beam cutting empty space. The corridor stared back. I dropped the tag. My stomach turned, metallic and sour. From the shadows came a cough. Wet, human, close. "Hello?" My voice cracked. Silence. I wrote in the notebook. Heard cough, not mine. The corridor opened into a wide ward. Rows of rusted bed frames crouched in the gloom. Mattresses collapsed into stains, black and sprawling. At the far end, something stood, still, tall. At first I thought it a coat rack, then it shifted. "Hello?" I whispered again. No reply, but my mind filled with a rasp not my own. We waited. We rotted. We are still waiting. I stumbled back. My light flickered and died. The dark pressed close, sliding down my arms, into my throat. When the beam sputtered back, every bed was full. Bodies lay in silence, faces gray-green, eyes slick with film, mouths slack in fever, and one moved. A woman sat up. Her jaw sagged open, her hand lifted toward me. I screamed. The light cut again. The beds were empty, but my notebook lay open on the floor. A line scrawled across it, in handwriting jagged and wet. "Write us back." I should have run. I climbed instead. The staircase moaned under each step. Banisters stung my palm with cold. The smell grew thicker, sharper, choking. Behind the walls, coughing. Dozens of voices, phlegm and pain. At the landing, a door stood ajar, a quarantine ward. I pushed it open. The walls pulsed, inhaling. The stains branched across the ceiling like veins. Whispers sharpened. "She carries the taste already. She belongs." My notebook shook in my hands. Words spilled, names, charts, diagnoses. Scarlet fever, typhus, measles. Handwriting not mine. Then she stood before me. A woman in a torn gown, hair shorn, eyes pits too black to reflect. "You came back," she rasped. "I don't belong here." Her smile cracked wide. "Everyone says that." Her hand lifted. My throat burned, metallic, thick. My lungs filled with the taste of blood. Cold fingers brushed my neck. Flesh on flesh. I gasped, choked, stumbled away. I fled into a records room. Cabinets sagged, papers rotted, but one drawer was untouched. Inside, a folder, my grandmother's name on it, her chart, age 9, scarlet fever, and beneath, discharge status, deceased. My blood iced. She had lived, married, raised me, but the file said she never left. The notebook in my hand shuddered. A sentence scrawled across its page as I watched. "She stayed, so will you." I ran until a broken window yawned before me. The harbor glittered beyond. Salvation, but the water was wrong. Black, thick. Shapes rolled beneath the surface. Arms rose, pale and dripping. Fingers clawed the air toward me. The whispers roared, "Join us. Write us back." I staggered back, tears burning. Somehow, I reached the roof. The skyline shimmered, far and unreachable. Behind me, the stairwell writhed with shadows, faces pressed through, eyes drowned and glassy, and among them, my grandmother's. Her mouth moved, her whisper carried clear. The sick never left. I bolted. Down the stairs, through the corridors, past the wards, past the coughing walls. The door burst open under my weight. Cold harbor air slapped me clean. I fell to the stone, retching, lungs heaving. At dawn, the ferry came. I boarded, hollow, shaking. The notebook lay heavy on my lap. On its last page, words I never wrote. "You never left." I did not run. My grandmother's face was not pleading. It was welcoming. I understood. She had carried them. So had I. The bitterness in my mouth was theirs. Always had been. I dropped the flashlight. Darkness folded over me. When I opened my eyes again, I stood in the ward. Beds full. A stranger held my notebook trembling, and from my throat rasped the words, "Write us back." If you are reading this, perhaps you found the notebook. Perhaps you think it is only a story, but you can taste it, can't you? That bitterness on your tongue. It means you belong here too.